It's kind of surreal. I can't believe it actually happened because it's been so long. The Chicago Bears, in real life, not in Madden, not in anything else, in real effing life, bear down and beat the Green Bay Packers today. How does this happen? It is such an unfamiliar feeling. I really don't even know how to react at this point, frankly. Because you could say on the one hand, well, way to go, you screwed up your draft position. You lost 10 in a row just to not go the distance. The reality is, maybe, but how much draft position did they really cost themselves by winning this game? They're going to sit at pick 10 as opposed to maybe pick 8 or 9. Like, it's a difference, but it's not an earth-shattering difference, especially when you think about what you would anticipate, at least in theory, the Bears targeting in the draft in round 1, specifically some type of help in the trenches on either side of the ball. And for the Bears to have gotten into a position for like a top 5 pick required not only them losing, but a bunch of other teams losing, and they just didn't get that help today, right? Or a bunch of other teams winning, and they just didn't fully get that help. So, yeah, the win cost them a little bit of draft position, but at the end of the day, whatever, right? Like, yeah, but come on. Haven't the Bears lost enough this year? I'm just saying. In addition, when you look at this one, it's the fact that you could now go into the offseason with something positive in a season full of negatives on so many different levels. And that's saying you did beat a playoff team in the Packers on the road, and Caleb Williams was clutch when it mattered most. Those can be valuable positives, as fleeting and small as they might be, for an organization to build upon heading into the next season. Now, if you sit there and say, well, this is exactly the type of fucking meaningless win that would justify retaining a Ryan Poles, then yeah, big picture, that really fucking sucks. But it certainly seems like, at least at this moment, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But that Twinkie-eating fuck is going to be around to be involved with the next head coaching search. Get ready for Anthony Weaver or some other type of dumb shit, right? Yeah. Lots to talk about here. And it felt like in some ways it was the Bears exercising some demons of the past, right? Before we go there, though, I just want to say for the Packers, yikes. They have the same record in the division as the Bears. That's 1-5. And they go into this one, and Jordan Love hurts his elbow, and he misses more than a half of action today. Christian Watson, when you have Moose Johnson questioning, like, how much do you really want to play Christian Watson? Because it's really important to have him healthy for the playoffs, because he's a difference maker for their offense. And then almost like a couple minutes later, he goes down with a non-contact knee injury, and he's out the rest of the game, and who knows how long he might be out. Yikesies, whoopsie daisies. But if you're talking about the Packers here, even for the cheeseheads that are going to get mad at me for talking shit about it, you got to be honest about this shit. Like, this was not a good performance for a 11-win playoff team. Like, you have to be able to handle your business here. Now, it didn't hurt him in the grand scheme of things because the Commanders ended up beating the Cowboys at the end of their game, so the Packers are going to be locked in the 7th seed anyways. But this was a matchup, and Matt LaFleur was talking about it, where they need to build some momentum, and they need to get some confidence, and they need to get into a flow, and that did not fucking happen here. For Christ's sakes, you had the Bears defense several times on third down make key stops. That didn't always happen, but they made enough of them, right? Like, holy shit. This was not a good performance for the Packers, and they certainly feel like a one-and-done playoff team at this moment. Yikes, 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 yikes. And you can sit there and say, well, we'll see, because the playoffs could be a whole different story. Yeah, to be fair to the Packers, right? 5 of their 6 losses this year came against the NFC North. The NFC North was a fucking grinder at the top this year with the Lions, the Vikings, and the Packers. But at the end of the day, I'm just going based off of what I saw today. What I saw today was a team that won't be in the playoffs very long. Woof, woof. And for all the money that they just forked over and paid Jordan Love, to have him be like glass this year, and every time you turn around, he's either leaving a game early or he's missing a couple of games, like not a desirable outcome here, right? Just saying. But how about the Bears? They went into Lambeau and a whole bunch of Bears football broke out. It took me over 5 minutes to say Bears football. But you got it. I knew you were fiending for it. You're like, I need my fix. I need my fix. But look at that early on. Scoreless game, punt return, and we're going back to the old deke out from the Dave Taub special teams days. Devin Hester deking out the Packers, and Johnny Knox returning it up the other sideline for a touchdown. The difference is Blackwell makes the catch. Spectacular catch, too, over the shoulder, not really looking. He had a much clearer convoy, and, oh, by the way, no penalty, no bullshit penalty at that to call this one back. Like, that was a cool fucking moment. You're like, okay, like it took the whole season to draw this one up, but at least when they did, it freaking worked. And then you got Jalen Johnson with a peanut punch, forcing a fumble. Like, the Bears are doing some things that were very reminiscent of the type of performance you would expect here. Bears football! And the Packers got bored and lulled to sleep, and the Bears were able to sneak one out. Sneak one out is ultimately what it was, because this offense, again, wasn't very good. As clutch as Caleb was on the last drive, for most of the rest of the game, he certainly wasn't very good. The offensive line stunk. The running game stunk. The receivers didn't seem to be getting much separation. Like an overall bad, again, offensive performance. And you're sitting there and you're like, what's going on here? And then you got Thomas Brown. Like, what is it about so many of these head coaches? I feel like it's particularly a problem with defensive-minded head coaches, but it's not exclusively a problem to them. The Bears are up 7. I love the thought of the call of going for 2, because you're 4-12 anyways. What fucking difference does it make? But if you convert, now it's a 9-point game. It's a 2-score game. So even if the Packers score a touchdown, they still got to come back and at least get another field goal or something. Some fluke safety, something, right? They can't tie you with the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the Bears run this stupid play to Keenan Allen, basically running a Philly special, if you want to technically call it the Bears special. That's what they're doing. You're doing this after earlier on in the game, you frickin' ran a wide receiver pass with Keenan Allen, and he's just like, Rome's not really open. Let me just chuck it up to the sidelines. Nothing bad can happen. Interception. What the fuck was that? And you come back to it again? And then you get bailed out by the Packers? They get called for a penalty, and now you've got the ball on the 1-yard line? And you're going to kick the extra point now? Like, what the fuck are you thinking here? Oh my God. Just dumb, stupid, situational football. The poor use of the timeouts in the fourth quarter when the Bears had the lead. Burning a couple of those timeouts so late when the Bears now are down because DJ Moore has fumbled and the Packers are able to get into field goal range and they kick a go-ahead field goal. You only have one timeout to work with instead of 2 or 3 like you fucking should have. And it ultimately didn't matter because they got bailed out. Caleb made some nice plays down the stretch. They got into field goal range. And it's like, again, a full circle thing. The old Devin Hester, Johnny Knox deke out this time. It works. And there's no bullshit penalty called. Here's Cairo Santos, who had his game-winning kick, potential game-winning kick against the Packers at Soldier Field earlier this year, blocked. Now he comes in 51-yard field goal, and bam, he made it. It wasn't pretty, but it fucking went in. And that's how the Bears' 2024 regular season wraps up with a record of 5-12 and staring the 10th pick in the draft in the face and a critical offseason as they have to get the head coaching hire right. As much as I wish I could say they need to get the GM hire right because Ryan Poles absolutely positively should be fired. He's going to be in an incredibly fortunate spot where he's going to be given more opportunity than he deserves to get it right. And he will look a lot better in 2 years than he does right now, which is bullshit because it shouldn't be like that. He should be gone. He ultimately was the master of this 5-12 mess this year, this collapse, this disaster. And the Bears allowing him to stay and keep his job and be involved with the next head coaching search when the last one he nailed that so fucking well with Matt Eberflus. Nah. Like, that's obscene. That is rewarding mediocrity. It's about high time the Chicago Bears organization and the McCaskey family stopped doing that. There'll be plenty of time to talk about the Bears this offseason, the head coaching process, what they do in free agency, what they do in the draft. It certainly is a critical offseason for them. But it is nice, at least on the one hand, to say the Bears fucking beat the Packers for the first time since 2018. Justin Fields could never. And it's true. You can make all the excuses about, well, they didn't have Christian Watson and they have Malik Willis. And frankly, what did Jordan Love do that was so fucking great that makes Malik Willis such a significant downgrade? Honestly. I'm just saying. Caleb got a win against the Packers. Justin Fields could never. The Bears beat the Packers on the road. A road win for the Bears on a Sunday. Holy shit. It's been years since that happened. Yeah, it's one like last little olive branch for, hey, sorry, we fucking sucked this year. Here's something to fool you into thinking things are better than they really are. So Bears fans, there'll be plenty of time to continue to stew and fester over this season. Got a long off season ahead of us, folks. Try to enjoy this one just a little bit tonight. I know it sounds like I'm coming up with some Bears football kind of mindset here, but the reality is losing this one probably wouldn't have led to Poles getting fired any fucking ways. It wouldn't have helped the draft position very much, so who the fuck cares? They beat them fucking cheeseheads. It's happened so rarely in my damn life. You're damn right, I'm just going to have at least a little bit of excitement about it, even with all the other natural, justified Bears football cynicism that I have. For one day, bear down, bitches! And Caleb came through in the clutch. Again, Justin Fields could never. So I hope that shuts up the JF1 cult once and for fucking all. With all that, they still finished 5-12. Yeesh. Oh, thank God the regular season's over, folks. We could spend our Sundays doing other things, not being mad about our decisions to support and continue to support a third-rate NFL organization.